When you're just starting a career or adding to your family, it's sometimes tough to stay on budget. It can also be difficult to put money aside for a rainy day fund, vacation, retirement, children's college costs, or a down payment for a home. If you can't cover your current lifestyle and all your bills with after-tax income, you're not living within your means. Without enough savings, many adults live paycheck to paycheck, which means they don't have enough money for emergency expenses. A study done by the Federal Reserve showed that 44% of adults say that they couldn't pay for a $400 emergency expense, or they would need to borrow money or sell something to pay for it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Today we will discuss about importance of living within your means and some smart tips to live according to your budget. The first question is, what does it mean to live within your means? To live within your means that what you spend each month is less than or at least equal to the amount of money you bring in each month. Once you start living within your means and are able to pay off bills with the money you have, you can start coming up with ways to live below your means. This means that you have money left at the end of the month. After you pay all of your bills, you can accelerate your savings and build wealth by living within, or we can say living below your means. Living beneath your means and living within your means are similar ideas. You're earning more money than you're spending. This allows you to save money for your financial goals, and it also gives you a cushion in case an emergency arises and you need extra cash. Importance of living within your means. Living within your means is very important, especially when you're raising kids as a stay-home parent. Incorporating frugality in spending your money is a way to control your finances. If you're a parent in debt, you must know how it may stir your kids. If you keep on living the life you can afford, it can result in possible depression caused by debt and can ruin your relationships. The good result of living on a budget is keeping your finances on the right track and manage your spending. Indeed, it's not easy to change spending habits, especially that Christmas is near to come. A guarantee to those who have poor spending habits to be in Christmas debt. Though you've set certain goals for the year, sticking to these goals might be hard and frustrating to someone. However, if you have great intention to follow your goals and is driven by your desire to stick to your plan to pay off your debt, you can potentially achieve your goals and defeat setbacks along the way. There are some smart tips to live within your means. Number 1. Know your expenses. The most important tip for living within your means is to understand your cash flow. Before you set a financial goal, you should know how much money you make after taxes to understand your expenses. Some expenses are fixed, like rent, car payment, student loans, groceries, and gas, can vary from week to week but may remain relatively steady over time. Even with fixed expenses, you can still find ways to lower them, such as getting a less expensive apartment or finding a roommate to split the cost. And while you may be able to anticipate your utility costs each month, things like electricity can fluctuate greatly from season to season. If possible, determine an average based on what you've paid in previous years, so you know what to expect. Number 2. Create a budget. When you know your expenses and income, set a reasonable budget so you don't spend more money than you make. If it looks like you need to cut back, determine the easiest places to do so. Number 3. Set financial goals. It's hard to maintain a budget if you don't have objectives. By making a goal of saving a certain amount a month, you'll be more inclined to pay dinner or coffee instead of dining out. You'll know the savings will go towards the future home down payment or home repairs. Number 4. Consider talking to a financial professional. It's important not to just make a financial plan, but to follow it. Staying on target to meet goals is how you'll get ahead. Sometimes this is easier to do by working with a professional. Find a financial professional today and develop a practical strategy for your financial future. Number 5. Don't try to keep up with the Jonases or the Hiltons. It means resist the pressure to have the same material things as the people around you, or worse, the people on television. You may be able to use credit cards and loans to fake wealth for a short period of time, but you'll pay for it later. You'll end up paying more since interest is added to your balance each month. Number 6. Stop relying on credit cards. Using credit cards to pay bills or cover other living expenses is not a way to live below your means. When you plan your budget, completely rule out credit cards as a way to make ends meet. Credit cards are unreliable since your credit card company can decrease your credit limit or even close your credit card at any time without warning. If you're charging more than you're paying, you'll eventually run out of available credit. Any interest you have to pay will make it that much harder to live within your means. Number 7. Build an emergency fund. Having savings that are dedicated to emergencies will keep you from resorting to credit cards whenever you have a financial emergency. An emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses is ideal, but starting out with $100 to $200 will help with some of the minor emergencies from time to time. Use your budget to figure out what you can afford to save each month, then set up an automatic transfer to make it easier to reach your savings goal. Number 8. Spend less money than you bring in. Once you know how much you make, then you can focus on reducing your spending to fit your income. If you don't have one already, create a budget to plan your expenses and use it to keep your spending on track. If you've already tried budgeting and it didn't work, try it again. Often, you just need to make some minor changes to your budget to get it to be effective. If you want to keep your process simple, try a method called backward budgeting. Write down your income, then start subtracting each expense you pay each month. If you get to a negative number, then you're spending too much and need to cut back. Number 9. Boost your income. If your expenses are at the bare minimum and you're still spending more money than you make, then you may need to boost your income. If you typically get a tax refund, you may be able to adjust your tax withholding to get more money in your paycheck. You should also make sure you've signed up for the right health, disability, and other company-provided benefits. Finally, you may need to get a higher-paying job or even a second job to help make ends meet. Remember, your goal is to live within your means and gain financial freedom. Number 10. Keep your financial future in sight. If you're accustomed to overspending, getting your budget back on track may sound overwhelming, but these simple first steps will help you make progress towards your goal of spending under what you make. From there, you can begin saving for your future instead of worrying about how to pay the bills. So guys, that was all about today's topic. See you soon in the next video. Goodbye.